Hi, I'm James. I am the founder of Practical Word Ministries and of Oklahoma, and I'm going to do a quick lesson on women in ministry tonight. Today's May 26th. Tonight at 8 o'clock, our normal show will be on, and I'm doing a lesson on the condition of man. I'm doing a series on basic theology, so you don't want to miss it. It's going to be really good. There's a couple verses in the epistles that talk about different examples of women in ministry, and I want to point them out because a lot of times men will use a verse in 1 Corinthians that talk about women being silent in church, and they don't understand that that verse is actually specific to a situation there in the church in Corinth. It's not meant to be applied to everyone. In Philippians 4, Paul is talking about two specific women that apparently are not getting along with each other. It says, "Now I appeal to," I hope I'm pronouncing this right, "Euodia and Syntyche, please, because you belong to the Lord, settle your disagreement, and I ask you, my true partner, to help these two women, for they worked hard with me in telling others the good news. They worked along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers whose names are written in the book of life." So they worked to share the gospel. They are workers in sharing the gospel. Okay, now so you say, well, they're just members of the church. No, Paul would not have mentioned them by name if they weren't workers in sharing the gospel. They're ministers. Colossians 4, verse 15 and 16, I'll start at verse 14. It says, "Look, the beloved doctor sends his greetings, and so does Demas. Please give my greetings to our brothers and sisters at Laodicea and to Nympha and the church that meets in her house." So Demas was a female name, and they meet in her house. In those days, the churches were house churches, and they met in people's homes. And the person who owned the home was the person in charge, was essentially like their pastor. Be like a campus pastor of a very large church today. Like Life Church has 35 campuses, and each one has a campus pastor. So you meet at their house, but obviously they have somebody above them. But the point is, they met at this lady's house. So she was responsible spiritually for the people that met at her house. Romans 16:3 talks about a couple that's mentioned several times in the New Testament, Priscilla and Aquila. Romans 16:3 says, "Give my greetings to Priscilla and Aquila, my co-workers in the ministry of Christ Jesus." Paul lists both of them and calls them co-workers. 1 Corinthians 16:19 says, and it's another reference to Priscilla and Aquila, "The churches here in the province of Asia send greetings in the Lord, as do Aquila and Priscilla and all the others who gather in their home for church meetings." So they're responsible for the people that meet in their home. Last reference, 2 Timothy 4:19. "Give my greetings to Priscilla and Aquila and to those living in the household of Onesiphorus." So those are just a few examples, and I'm barely touching on the subject, but my point is this, and that's why I know that I would need to come in person and teach on this, and I hope that if you're watching this, you can let your pastor know that I'm available to come and teach. My goal is to come to go to all 50 states and teach around the country and teach the Bible. And I've got a lot more material I could present on this, but I'm not going to do it here because I'm trying to keep the videos less than 10 minutes. We're trying to make them short and sweet so that people can watch them and get something from it, and be encouraged, be edified, and then in person I can do more teaching. But it would be my interest. Think about this for a second. If I'm applying for a chaplain position, and I really truly believed that women weren't supposed to be in the ministry, that would eliminate half of my competition. It would actually be in my best interests, if women weren't in the ministry. But you see, ultimately, God is the one that gives people gifts, talents, and abilities. That's not my design, that's God's. And just because somebody's a female, that doesn't mean that they don't have those gifts, talents, and abilities. If you've been called by God to be a minister, then use your gifts, talents, and abilities to be a blessing to other people. Whatever your gifts, talents, and abilities are, use them to be a blessing to other people. So, I hope and pray that some of those denominations out there will one day wake up and recognize the talented women that are sitting in their pews and find ways to plug them in and get them into positions where they can use their gifts, talents, and abilities to be a blessing to other people. Because that's what this is all about. Ministry is not about me, about my needs. It's about using the gifts, talents, and abilities that I have to be a blessing and to meet the needs of other people. So, anyway, tonight, 8 o'clock, same channel, we're going to talk about the part 2, the condition of man, the condition of human beings. Are we born sinners? Are we born with the image of God? Some people refer to it as the Imago Dei. I'm going to answer that question tonight. So, 8 o'clock Central Time, Practical Word Ministries. I know you're going to love it. So, hope to see you then. Take care. God bless.